first peg in the new conservation project of Gilwyn. Retaking the passageway, raising the tape to make it more obvious where the path is.
Ogof Draenen is a huge cave system in the Brecon Beacons in South Wales. When the main passages were first explored over 20 years ago, tens of kilometres of taping was needed to cheaply and quickly establish pathways and protect untrodden floors from trampling. The red and white tapes had the advantage at the time of being free, but are now considered unsightly and in need of replacement or repositioning after decades with little maintenance. On the 27th of January 2018, a major trip was organised as part of an ongoing project to review the state of Ogof Draenen and begin to modernise the underground conservation measures. "16 cavers from many clubs split into teams to focus on two sections of the system that are experiencing relatively high levels of caver traffic and other activities. The objectives were to assess the conservation condition and, where issues were found, to repair where possible and also report back about work and equipment needed on further trips. Being well decorated, quick to reach from the original entrance, and technically easy to journey along, Gilwyn Passage has had a high footfall. In the 1990s, discoverers invested considerable effort and inventiveness in trying to balance the needs of access and conservation protection. The original red and white tape that was hastily laid on discovery had done a good job in marking pathways, but needed replacement and lifting off the floor. There was very little evidence of frequent crossings of old tapes, just occasional boot prints that were in some cases possible to repair. Particles of mud and sand had been scattered beyond tapes in places where cavers had been moving fast, and it was possible for some of this to be cleared back. Overall, the balance between conservation and access has been well maintained in this passage due to the early work of the discoverers, and the improved taping will hopefully keep that balance for decades to come. A second team visited the Midwinter Chambers, which are on the route to the extensive Dollimores and War of the Worlds series. These chambers contain some particular conservation issues. There are large and fragile gypsum feather formations on roof and walls that can be dislodged on contact or by shockwave. On the floors are gypsum snowdrifts and snowball-like features that are extremely soft and vulnerable. Some delicate features, like this gypsum-coated bat skeleton with its feet still attached to the boulder above, are not evident to the casual, quickly moving caver. The recent excavation of additional entrances to the cave, close to Midwinter Chambers, increases caver influence, so there is a need to assess the area's protection and to repair existing and limit further damage to the cave environment. As with Gilwen Passage, the original taping by the first discoverers has been very successful in protecting major areas of the cave floor, walls and ceiling. Some areas of taping have been ignored by those widening crawlways, but some cleaning up has also taken place. The majority of the gypsum speleothems in the chambers remain in place. Old location-specific pictures are needed that show natural gypsum featherfall and stone scatter. These would create an archive of the original state of the cave on discovery and any recent changes that may have occurred. The creation of a further modern photographic set would provide a new datum point to monitor any changes in the cave over the next decades. Overall, there has been change in the nature of the cave, from feeling like a series of linked chambers to that of a regularly travelled routeway. Pathway management is essential to prevent further accidental damage